Hey, folks, welcome to another weekend edition of What's Going On the Experience here on Fox Sports 1280. And I'm the guy here up in state in Rochester. I got my man Ryan V down in NYC, the Hamptons. What up, Rye Guy?
Second take featuring Nate Brown Jr. So I don't want to say the thing twice, but I'm not in New York, Nate. I am in the lovely Long Island near a lake where people are drowning
Okay.
year after year. They say it's a haunted lake right here in Ronkonkoma. Shouts to Ronkonkoma. It's good to be here.
Okay. Well, I know Tommy T from Savvy Seats know about that lake, don't you, Tommy?
Yeah, I don't go out there. I don't go in lakes that are haunted, man. I stay away from that.
Tommy T said his name ain't Scooby Doo, so he ain't trying to find you.
No, I'm not trying to find no haunted anything.
Okay. And we got the incomparable, the one and only, the mighty Greg Vaughn, GV23. What up, GV down in Vegas? How you doing, Mr. Golfer?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, man. How you guys? Sun is
okay,
shining, 80 degrees. It's nice, beautiful.
Okay, so see, you always do that little dig, that little weather report dig, Tommy. 80 degrees, it's nice. You do, especially in the winter time,
right?
You know, it's 80 degrees and I'm golfing, and it's you know such a cool thing to be Greg Vaughn. Speaking of being Greg Vaughn, I looked up your stats, GV, and I'm telling you, Mr. Lamont, you was a bad brother. No, seriously, you humble, but you was a bad brother, man. I mean, you hit 355 home runs, and then at the year that you hit 50, you finished fourth behind Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire. Greg, how did you feel when you did that, man? Because I never really talked to you about. I'm not a fan guy, but damn, I ain't a fanboy. But dude, you were great.
No, hey, man, I was blessed definitely to be able to play a sport, but I feel like I didn't, injuries. I feel like there was so much more there, but with like 4 or 5 rotator cuff surgeries, I just feel like I didn't get to max out like I could have maxed out. But yeah, I have no regrets. I went out there and I played. I posted. Even with injuries, I went out there and played, and yeah, it was a good run. 50 to be one of, I don't know how many guys have done it now. Probably 30 something out of all the the history of baseball.
Thousands of people coming through baseball.
To be one of those guys. And you know what's crazy, Nate? I had a month and a half to hit 50. I was stuck on 49 for a month and a half.
Whoa!
And it was the last at bat. It was the last at bat of the season. We already clinched by 30 games, that year. So we didn't celebrate or anything. So we're we're in Arizona, and I said, "Man," Boach says, "Hey, Vonnie, you want a breather or whatever?" I was like, "No, man, I want to run off with my guys and celebrate. We haven't celebrated yet,
Right.
So we're down by 1 run in the top of the ninth. So in between innings, I go downstairs and cuss myself out. You know what I mean? And say, you know what, asshole, 49 is not bad. It's still a good year. Everybody was pulling for me to get 50, right?
Right.
So my whole team, everybody. So I said, asshole, you know what? 49 is not that bad. It's okay. You still had a good year. And I went up there, last at bat of the season, top of the ninth, man on second base, 0-2, a hanging slider that I hit, barely went over the gate in the bullpen. So I got the ball back. I almost killed. Rest in peace, Davey Lopes. Yeah, almost. Rest in peace. He just passed. But I ripped his hand off. With the high five at first base. I get to third. My man Flannery is jumping up and down. And in the big leagues, your teammates don't come out they don't leave the dugout, right?
Right.
So I turned third base. I get to home plate. It was like the Little League World Series. My whole team was out there, man. Like, yeah, we did it. You know what I mean? So
that's great.
And as close as we are on that team, man, it was really special. The guys.
Yes.
Like I said, they probably wanted it more than I did. They were pulling for me, the players, the coaches. And we had a lot of Padre fans, in Arizona that last series too. So, to be in that special group, hey man, I'll take it.
One of the things, Greg, that jumped out to me, and as I'm really, really, like I said, doing my research on you, is the you in the clubhouse, Tommy. They said his presence in the clubhouse was was so calming yet demanding, and it was like so mellow. I mean, everybody, as I read about it, like he was like the clubhouse guy. Everybody wants to play with him. Okay, so Greg,
Yeah, you know what? But I had good teachers, man.
That's what I
Once
learned.
again, rest
Everybody
in peace.
wants
You know,
to play
Dave.
with
You know, Dave Parker, Willie Randolph was my guy. Robin Yount. I mean, at 21, my locker was next to his every single day. You know what I mean? So I'm learning from Robin Yount. I'm learning from Paul Molitor. I'm learning from Glenn Braggs, Mike Felder, Willie Randolph, Dave Parker, and like I said, man, they just passed the baton, and I just tried to do the same thing.
Well, like I said, I don't want to be a fanboy, but I needed to get that out, man, because
that's peak Milwaukee, man. That you name these names, that is peak. What do you think, Milwaukee Brewers? That's who you think
that's
of
as
that group of guys, including yourself.
No, man,
pretty
but
crazy.
Tommy, chime in with us on that, man, because like I said, you're in the space with greatness, bro.
No, I know it's great. It's phenomenal. To be a clubhouse leader, that's like the most important thing. Like you look at guys now, like I watch, like, I'm a Yankee guy, and I just see how Aaron Judge, you see how people just gravitate to him. He's not out there demanding, but he just, by his presence, people follow, and that's the way it is, man. If you could do that.
Yeah, you guys with all these Yankee fans over there, shit.
But listen, you see what hat I got on, right? Because I was upset at you that you didn't tell me that Cody was in the Mets farm system. Greg.
What's that? Oh, my son?
I said you didn't tell me Cody was in the Mets farm system.
Oh yeah, my oldest, yeah, he played 5 years in AAA with the Mets, and he's a fireman now. He gave it his best run, but he got to experience some things too. So like I said, man, baseball's been good.
And why you be hating on the Mets like that? You should have had all kind of Mets jerseys.
He didn't make. I mean, he made it,
and all kind of stuff.
Hate on the Mets. I don't hate on the Mets. Nate, I like the. You know what, Nate? I like the Knicks, because I like the way that, but I can't admit that to you. I mean, they're not one of my favorites, but I can't admit that to you that I like the Knicks.
Okay.
You know what? And how can you hate any New York baseball team? You know what I mean?
I could hate.
You don't hate the teams. You hate the fans. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, it's a good thing your son didn't tarnish his legacy and play with that team.
With Ryan and you guys. The fans, man, are that. You know what? One thing about it, you had to play well going into New York, because otherwise the fans would wear you out. If you wanted to keep them quiet for like an inning or two, just
spank them up. Just spank them up.
Yeah. So you can talk mess back. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I can imagine you, Greg, in left field back in the day at Shea Stadium, and they was chirping at you. Am I right or wrong, Greggy?
Oh yeah, Shea Stadium, New York. Yeah, but you know what? Those are places you look forward to going. Chicago. Playing in Wrigley, Boston. I mean, this is where baseball was made. You know what I mean? This is when it comes to, just the history of the game. You're talking about Boston, Chicago, New York, L.A. You know what I mean? L.A. was easy to play because it was. Out in the outfield, though, because, you had the bleachers. Yeah, the bleachers are a little wild. You know what I mean? All my people out there, I love the bleachers.
The bleacher bums. They ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you see some stuff in the bleachers, man. And so for me, it was, those L.A. was easy because it was just, if you didn't sit in the bleachers, you were eating sushi and just seeing who's at the game. You know what I mean? They weren't too loud. It was easy.
Only in L.A. Hey, Ryan, as we go down memory lane in baseball, give me some stats on one of my favorite players, because that's why I have a shirt on today. I told you I'm in Roberto Clemente mode. So I thought he's one of the best ever out there in the outfield playing right field, man. Give the audience about who this guy was and his contribution to baseball like Greg's.
Well, I would say this, and I didn't really think about it until I was just talking to you about it before the show, but he's kind of like the Kobe of baseball, because he passed away at the end of his career and sadly wasn't really able to enjoy life after baseball. Yet his greatness, I mean, when you think of baseball, that's just one of the names that comes to mind. Unfortunately, I know I'm aging like milk, but I wasn't old enough to witness him play.
Dude.
So I'll leave it up to you, Nate. I mean, what was it like watching?
But
who can you compare Clemente to in today's game?
You really can't compare him to anybody, because he was and Tommy T, he's a 5'2" player. Yeah. You couldn't, and Greg will tell you, I couldn't compare anybody right now, honestly, Greg. You help me with this to Roberto Clemente in terms of what he did from running, the throwing, the stealing bases.
Yeah, you know what? And I'm blessed to know his sons too, Roberto Jr. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And yeah, and hang out with those guys. And I think I won the Roberto Clemente Award for community service, a couple times. I think
there you go.
He was more of a better person, humanitarian, and that's how he lost his life. Helping his people, bringing supplies and going down in a plane crash. But like I said, it was him. You think of King Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
You think of Dave Parker. You're talking about 5 guys that could do it. Guys could do it all.
5
dominate
tools,
the game on defense or offense, right? I mean, he could just steal the show and carry a team.
And
I think his biggest accomplishment, guys, 2 World Series with the Pirates, which is just unthinkable.
With the Pirates.
I know they're off to a good start. They're 8-5, right? They're off to a great start. But I mean, we're talking about a guy that won 2 World Series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I know it was a different time back then, 1960, 1971. But the guy was an absolute legend. MVP, World Series MVP. And I wonder who the other one was. Maybe the guy that hit the guy that just passed away. How do you say his name? Bill?
Yeah. It was Mazeroski.
Because he hit that epic home run against the Yankees. The Yankees in the World Series, sadly.
I remember that. Yep, Bill Mazeroski. He rounded the bases on the Yankees, man. But speaking of rounding the bases, we got to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit, about the NCAA. Ryan got a clip he's going to play that I interviewed Coach Dusty May, Greg, right before their little run when they were in Buffalo. And I kind of called it. I said, I think ain't nobody beating Michigan. They too big.
I called it. Pull up the tape. That's what I said.
Yeah, you did. You did. You did, Greggy. You called it. We'll be right back. She can call some more. This is what's going on. Fox Sports 12.
They trying to take all the flowers.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm trying, but I ain't working.
This morning on the phone. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think he said that.
We'll be right back.
I feel like I hear an echo in my head. You know what I mean? I called Michigan.
Hey, folks. Welcome back to What's Going On The Experience here on Fox Sports 1280. And this segment of the show is brought to you by The Ebony Canal, a film that we're going to be showing here in Rochester on Sunday, April 26th. And it's going to be at the Dryden Theater. And it is going to be an incredible opportunity at 3 p.m., 900 East Avenue. The screening includes a panel discussion with the film's director, Ime Alaquiva, and is narrated by the award winner, Viola Davis. For tickets, contact Dr. Deborah Stamps at 585-414-6622 or go to Zeff.com. Check that out. It's going to be a great show and some good panelists. And speaking of a good show, okay, Greg, back to you and your prediction. You were right. Michigan was dominant, Tommy, and I did get a chance to see him up close in Division 1 and 2. And I said, Greg, I don't know if anybody can beat those guys. But, Greg, I'm going to go to you because you did call them. And why did you think Michigan was going to beat everybody in the tournament, Greg? Because you did call them from day one.
Yeah, they did. I just had a feeling. I just thought, they were big. They're athletic. And, they played hard. You know what I mean? And, their guy before the big game, I mean, he was carrying them, until he hurt his knee and his – foot on that freak play when he stepped on the guy's foot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I just like I said, their coach, the way he coached, he just had just a sense of peaceness and calmness with those guys. You know what I mean? He didn't get too high, too low. And you got to give it out to UConn though too, man. UConn might be the hardest playing team in college sports. UConn UConn wills their way to wins. You know what I mean? You look at them; they're down 14. Next thing you know, they're winning the game. They just don't. There's no quit, and I think it starts at the top. With their coach, and like I said, it's gonna be interesting because I know guys are in the portal already, right? So as soon as that last game, they're in the portal. But I think they should have a posting fee for the small schools that lose their guys. So sort of like soccer or even international baseball.
Yeah,
you got to give the team something too. Not just a player. So I think
you should have little compensation.
Yeah, I think you should have to give the school a little something, because they have to be able to compete. I mean, they don't have the big facilities or locker room.
And
At
the
least if they
budgets
have
and
money,
stuff.
they can go get some players, right?
But speaking of playing, Tommy, what do you think about that national championship team? Because the guy that made the shot for Connecticut and Duke, you know, his NIL money just went up to $8 million next year. They said this kid's go. And Hurley told him, Ryan, you need to stay in school, player. You don't need to go. You all right. Come back here, get this little $5 to $7 mil because you made the shot. Everybody loves you, Tommy. What do you think about that?
You know, that's interesting now, you know, that with all this money that's in college sports, right? Like, you know, they should stay there, get the education, because you don't know what's going to happen after the sport, right?
Right.
Like, you know, you might not be able to play in the pros. You know, you might as well get paid for it. So, you know, like, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. These kids bust their butts 24/7, you know, to get out there to try to do something that they love and they've been playing. They got to get paid for it, man.
What you think?
And to generate revenue, they're generating revenue for the college. Of course, they deserve a piece.
And I think this year's, you know, NCAA, if you look, there was a lot of teams that shouldn't have won, but they had people that they got in the portal, right? And they made this exciting this year. So,
well, speaking of getting in the portal, check out how Michigan won. And I got to
they got five. They got 5 guys, right?
Tell them, Greg, their 5 starters all came from the portal, and with their point guard. Caden, I forget his name, came from North Carolina because I remember him playing in North Carolina last year. So everybody wanted to give credit to Juwan Howard, but they couldn't give credit to Juwan Howard because those weren't players that he recruited. Maybe some of the bench players, but the main players came when Dusty May came and they got them through the portal, Greg. You're right.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's you know, it's life-changing money now, especially in basketball and a college quarterback. You know what I mean? All those guys aren't going to make it, but they're able to take care of their families. And, you know, but like I said, just for the small schools, just so they can just compete a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to get robbed every single year. They got to be able to get something so they can keep their programs alive, right? Because they go out there, bust their ass on all these sleeper guys, and, you know, they work with them, they develop them. And then when it's time to reap the benefits for their program, they're gone, right? So I think if you had a posting fee for the school, so at least the school gets something, they can go out and try to be competitive.
Ryan, you got that clip with Dusty? With Coach
I had an issue loading it up. With that clip.
All right. Well, try to load that later on. I had an interview with Coach Dusty May. And like you said, Greg, he's like just a mellow guy. The guys gravitate towards him. And he really doesn't get too high, get too low. And it was just good to see Michigan. And that was their, first win since when? When's the last time Michigan won the national championship? It's been a long time. Right, Greg? It's been a long time. So
30 years ago, I think.
30 years, yeah. Long time ago.
Whoa, okay.
It's been that long since they won?
We can look this up right now just to be safe here because let's see. Okay, so according to our producer here, the last time that they had won, they have 2 altogether. The last one was 1989.
89, wow. There you go. So it's been a while for this.
That is a while.
In which Glenn Rice,
for the Wolverines, yeah.
That was the Glenn Rice year in which he was named most outstanding player in the tournament and went on to have a great career in the NBA.
Actually, Glenn Rice did have a pretty stellar career. Glenn Rice could
big dog. Big dog. He was in Milwaukee same time I was. Good dude.
Oh, so that was your running buddy, huh? Big dog, Glenn. Yeah.
I know I said it last week, guys. I just love Dan Campbell. I really do. And Greg wasn't here and we talked about it a little bit, but I love his style of coaching. Headbutt, top 5 moment. Refs, so how many refs had that coming? Headbutt coming?
All I know is this. When Jeff the ref come up here in a couple of weeks, he going to tell you how significant that was. Because if you remember during that game, it was a moment where he had to go over there and probably tell Hurley, not today, partner.
No, that's Dan Hurley. Yeah,
he had to probably And Greg, you can see I don't know if you saw it, but it was one of the times where they were jostled for the ball. Ball went out of bounds. Jeff called it for Michigan. Hurley started squealing, and Jeff just politely went over to him, and I could look at his face, and he probably said, "Not today, my brother. Not today." Okay.
Yeah, you know what? It's just funny. He's so animated, right? He leaves it out there. I mean, it's amazing watching Hurley. I don't know how he doesn't get kicked out of more games. They give him some leeway because you know what I mean.
That's what I said.
That was crazy that he got away with that. That was probably the most disrespectful thing since baseball, with people spitting on the ump's feet and kicking dirt on him. That was like a basketball Billy Martin. That was insane.
Yeah,
well, no, like
but you know what's crazy? You know, with that ABS, you know, watching all the games and umpire, like CB Buckner, like I was telling you guys before, man. I know it wasn't me now. I know because he misses 20 calls every day. I mean, he threw me out of more games than I ever. I mean, I didn't even know the guy. He was a rookie. You couldn't even ask him if it was a strike. Hey, man, that's not a strike. Swing the bat. I mean, you know, so they're mad. Umpiring is tough, right? It is, but I mean,
job.
they
well,
expect
I think
a
any
lot
job you do in terms of umpire, refereeing, it's because you know it's you have human error, right? And human error.
You have human error, but I mean, but you know, we get sent down if we don't play good. You know what I mean? We get released, you get sent down, and the same thing should be said. They should have some other guys ready to go because you know, and like I said, man, it was different if you could at least talk to the guys. You know, when they transition over to just being unified, you know, not National League and American League, it was a lot different. And the young guys, you know, you still had 95% were pretty cool, but man, I mean, the young guys just came with attitude, and CB was one of them. Like I said, man, I don't think he liked brothers. I don't know what the fuck was wrong. Excuse my language. What was wrong with him? I used to tell him, man, worst crime in America, black on black, and you doing it to me every time I come to the plate.
See, Tommy T, that's why we got Greggy in here.
He tells it like it is, man.
Because he's straight no chaser. He ain't throwing.
He don't care. That's great.
He's
that's
straight no chaser. Hey, man, Ryan, we gotta take a break, Ryan. And when we come back, we're gonna talk some baseball, right? We're gonna baseball or basketball. Which one are you gonna do, Ryan? Because you're the
we might as well start with the Knicks. We got to finally give some roses. I'm not saying they're going to win the finals, but
you know what? You and Greg, Tommy, they get on my damn nerves. The two of them together, they don't give me no slack when it comes to my New York Knicks. And this is the most games they won under Mike Brown. Everybody was trashing. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk. We're gonna have a New York state of mind.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We'll see, this is why you don't hate the teams. You hate the
fandom. It's good. This is why fans like me exist. We'll be right back. Fox Sports 1280. Don't go no place. Hey, folks, welcome back to What's Going On in the Experience here on Fox Sports 1280 in Rochester coming out. And we got my man Ryan V down in the Hamptons. I'm sorry, you're not in New York City. And then
I wish I could say I'm in the Hamptons too, but I already exposed myself to conquest.
And then we got Tommy T from Savvy Seats. And of course, we got the guy that should be in the damn Hall of Fame. I'm lobbying for you, Greg. I don't care. I lobby for JoJo. They finally got JoJo ass in the Hall of Fame for basketball. I'm lobbying for you. So I'm telling you, whatever we got to do, we lobbying for my man Greg to get his shrine, and that bad boy got to get his bus, okay? But speaking of getting your bus, Greg, you had a chance to talk to my man Jordan Weiss of Innovators Magazine last week, didn't you?
Talk to who?
To Jordan Weiss from Innovators Magazine.
Yeah, the guy from Moneyball.
Yeah, no, okay, that's the Moneyball guy, but I got another guy for you. His name is Jordan Weiss, and he does the Innovative Magazine, and it's called Innovators.
Oh yeah, I did talk. Oh yeah, he's the man. Yeah, he's good people.
He's good people. So check this out now. I want to tell you something about this really, really connected magazine where sports is headed. Because Tommy, this is where sports is headed, I believe. The magazine is a storytelling platform that lives right where sports, culture, and STEM. STEM is technology for math and science. Believe it or not, science, technology, engineering, and arts and math. And they reach over 250,000 students, grad students, young professionals, people who aren't just fans of the game, but shaping the future. They're talking analytics, which is Ryan's thing, leadership, innovation, and something that's getting a lot more attention, Greg and Ryan, mental health and wellness in sports. And mental health and wellness, because Greg said it, wellness and mental health is important in sports, okay? Where through digital broadcasting and social print and live experience, they're helping brands, universities, and organizations tell real stories that connect with the next generation in a meaningful way. As a matter of fact, they could do an article on Greg and some of the things that Greg is doing with his diabetes organization. So I'm just excited. So if you guys want to be involved with Innovators at the Crossroads, just, let us know. we will give you that information. As a matter of fact, the website is Innovative at the intersection. Let me give that to you, www.innovatives, INNOVATORS.media. And we're going to have a nice little ad in that magazine in this upcoming issue. And I'm just excited to have Jordan Weiss be a part of our Fox Sports family. He'll be on in a couple of weeks. But I'm looking forward to the article he's going to do with you, Greg.
Yeah, Jordan's a cool cat, man. Like I said, like you said, it's that the culture that he's bringing to the magazine, right? So, he's in a lot of different spaces. Seems like a cool guy, and I'm looking forward to it.
And the thing is, we have a little connection. I told Ryan with this, with Rakim from back in the day, the hip hop artist. He's doing some AI stuff, and we also got to have a little connection with maybe JP Morgan and Chase, as well as Nike, in a program they call Move. It's a Move fund. So stay tuned for what's going on and what we're going to be doing in that space. But speaking of space, Tommy, these guys be giving me the business about my Knicks. I'm gonna let you start, and if you're gonna give me the business, I'm gonna cut you off. No, I'm only playing.
Why they give you the business? You're not a Knicks fan, Ryan?
Listen, I've been a Knicks fan since 1965. That tells you that's a long time. I still remember Dick Barnett and Walt Frazier.
That's why you're a Knicks fan. See, I know I grew up in the era of Patrick Ewing, but it was just another era that seemed to let everybody down around me. And honestly, I was such, my whole story, I don't want to get too far into it, but I was such a big Yankees fan, and we were winning. I was so cocky and so confident that I was cursed by the baseball and basketball gods because I became a Clippers fan to balance it out. Can you believe that? Literally,
wow.
As a kid, recognized that because I was so nice at NBA Jam, and I would just dominate with the Clippers as a joke to kind of, mess with my older cousins.
So to mock the Knicks and the Nets.
To mock everybody. And man, did that haunt me my whole life. Since then, we've won nothing. We won one time in 2009, and it's just been miserable as a Clippers fan.
So, Tommy,
man.
So, Tommy, tell me your Knicks experience, man. Come on.
I mean, I love the Knicks, man. I remember, Patrick Ewing, those guys, they just played basketball, man. They banged that era. That was such a great era. New York was crazy during that run. When they had when they had Oakley, when they had,
Starks.
That was just a tough team. That like they were the epitome of New York,
Anthony Mason,
he was an animal, man. These guys just played ball, man.
And Greg, back to you. Now you said you just don't like the Knicks fans, but you're a Knicks. You like the Knicks. You don't like the fans.
Well, no, I give flowers to where flowers should be thrown. The Knicks were a good team. You know what I mean? And I'm giving them flowers. Are they in my top 10? No, but I don't hate them. It's not like growing up being a Giants fan and hating the Dodgers. You know what I mean? I hated the Dodgers. I hated the Rams. You know what I mean? Because I'm a 49er fan. I hated the Rams, the Dodgers.
The Chargers too.
Yeah, but they didn't bother me because I didn't have to worry about them.
They didn't matter back then, really.
And I hate the Cowboys.
Didn't matter.
Probably on my list first is Cowboys on everything. I hate the Cowboys. Hate the Cowboys. I hate Notre Dame.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna tell you a quick story right quick because you mentioned two teams. I grew up in the South Bronx, right? And I have four brothers. I got three now, and one of my brothers, I don't know I know how you like Notre Dame, and what was the other one you said you didn't like? You said you didn't like Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
No, it was another Notre Dame, and I hate the Cowboys.
The Cowboys. And I said, Dean, why the hell you like Notre Dame and the Cowboys? He said, Bub, that's all that came on TV. And I thought about it for a second. When we grew up, all we saw, think about this, Tommy, was Notre Dame on NBC.
Every morning.
Notre Dame had NBC, Ryan, locked down. CBS, all you could watch was the Cowboys. I'm like, what about the Giants? I don't want to watch the remember, Tommy? They would black out the Giants and put on the Cowboys. We're like, we don't want to watch the Cowboys. So my brother became a Cowboy fan by default and a Notre Dame fan. I'm like, dude, you ain't never been to Dallas. You don't even know what South Bend is. It could be around the corner for the hell you know. Take off that Notre Dame. He would have and he used to love what's the dude name for Notre Dame? What's the quarter? Montana. He freaking loved it.
See, I love Montana too.
He loved Joe Montana.
Me too. What's not to love?
But I'm just saying, but dude, you don't even know what Montana is either.
A lot of people like the jersey colors too. Like that's another thing. There's a lot of kids, they see what they like.
Yeah.
They float to the colors. And that's also what deterred me from the Knicks was I hate the Mets so much. They kind of have the same
I know, Ryan. Like I love the Knicks, and sometimes when I wear the stuff, I'm like I get so mad at myself.
Yeah, you look like a Mets fan.
Colors? I mean, this is not right, man.
You look like a Mets fan,
doesn't it?
Yeah,
it really does.
Well, it's that orange and that and that blue. So it's the orange and that royal.
And that's what upsets me more.
I'm gonna tell you why I bust Nate's butt. You know what I mean? Because they can win 10 in a row, lose one game. You would have thought the goddamn.
The world's on fire, man.
His daughters, you know what I mean? You would have thought, his daughters got taken. They win 10, lose one. He has a major meltdown. Major meltdown.
But no, Greg.
The first quarter of the baseball season, like, get Soto out of here. Get him out of here. You didn't
had a name for him.
I call him Juan Noto. No. But no, here's the deal. I learn from you, Greg. I do learn from people. And you taught me in sports, right? Patience abound. Because think about it right now. The Mets are 7-7. Soto was out. Nobody's hitting. They got shut out yesterday again. Am I right, Tommy? 4-0.
The Giants shut him out twice. I mean, that's horrible. No, they shut out the Phillies.
And the thing is, their pitching is not bad. They're starting pitching. The McClain guy, Peterson, they're hanging in, but they can't hit. So McClain took them the other day to 6 innings, struck out 8 people, passed it on, but the Mets can't get no darn runs in there. Tommy T?
Sounds like the Yankees too right now.
Say what, Greggy?
They'll hit, man. I mean, these guys have proven track records. It's just a matter of time. And it's just like the same thing with the Yankees. The Yankees are going to lose about 7 or 8 in a row, and then Ryan's going to jump off the bridge. You know what I mean? It's going to be.
I'm already off the bridge. I'm flying through the sky right now. I'm looking at the bottom of that lineup. I'm looking at what I thought was a strong bull, but no. I'm going to give it some time. But if I was a Mets fan, I would.
You guys have good technique. The Yankees are rounded, man. Well rounded. You just got to get. And I hate to say it because Wells, he grew up basically right around the corner from where I live in Vegas. His parents still live there. You just got to get him to hit a little bit more, man. You need a little bit more out of that catcher spot.
I'm not sure how to feel at this point. I mean, he's 27, right? That's supposedly about the time of your prime, and he doesn't seem to be getting any better. I don't want to go too far into Austin Wells. I really thought he was going to be, and he's like a decent catcher, but he keeps throwing too high over second base. There's a lot of red flags at this point, and it's also a scary situation. Tommy, I don't know if you feel the same way as me, but when you're looking forward to the return of Anthony Volpe, it might not mean things are going as well as it might be, as they could be. But no, I don't want to be exactly.
Is he going to get his job back? Is he going to get his job back?
I think he will, because
I think he will. Nobody's really said
now are playing.
Calavero's not. He's had his moments. I think Ahmed Rosario is going to take over third base from Ryan McMahon, who was he's great, man. And that's a former Met, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wasn't he in the Mets farm system?
He was in the farm system. Yeah, he was there.
But he's a good player, man. A really good player. I mean, he went yard twice the other day, won the game for you guys.
Hero. He was a damn hero. And then Luke Weaver was the hero of the Mets recently too. So look, it's good to see New York baseball, where I guess none of us are really freaking out just yet. If I'm freaking out right now, it's because I'm a Boston Red Sox fan or because I'm a Toronto Blue Jays fan. Greg, what do you think? Well, actually, we do have to go to a quick break, so it's a perfect segue for us to go to a baseball segment. To talk about what's going on in Major League Baseball.
So
and
when we come back,
everybody
let's do that.
They need to check out our website, foxsportsradiowgo.com. Let's get the numbers on that website up. If you're listening in Rochester right now and you love what you hear, there's former content on there and a brand new YouTube channel to look at, foxsportsradiowgo.com.
And then follow us too. Follow Tommy T, follow Greg, follow Ryan.
Of course, Savvy Seats. This is our chance also to plug Savvy Seats. If you're looking to buy seats anywhere, on God's green earth, we don't care if it's a Justin Bieber comeback or a Kanye West comeback tour if they ever allow
well,
that.
they just kicked Kanye West out of Britain,
that's
so
not, that's it. He's not going back for a while.
He ain't going back to Britain no time soon.
Would you sell Kanye West tickets on Savvy Seats? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Who cares?
All right. Okay.
Greg said his money is green too.
Right. My fingers are crossed we don't get canceled.
Somebody must like him, right? Somewhere they're going to buy something.
So. That's right. Look, I mean, look at what happened in LA. He's sold out. But that being said, SavvySeats.com for Kanye West tickets the second they're available, and any other good stuff. Yankees tickets. Giants are going to be good this year. I can't wait to go to those tailgates.
Actually, I can't wait to go to tailgate. That's what I just said.
We got to do a show down there. We should do a show live down
there. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a live tailgate show.
Yeah, go see your boy Fireman. Fireman
Ed.
And Nate, your team might be a little bit better. It might be a little bit better.
The Jets might be better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Well, they got the return. They got the return of Mac and Gino. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going. Hey, you like the Greg? You like that? We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. Fox Sports. What's going on? Hey, folks, welcome back for our final segment of What's Going On in the Experience here in Fox Sports 1280 with the crew. I be Nate Brown Jr. Got my man Ryan V down in the Hamptons. Got Greg V down in Vegas where it's nice and warm. It's 80 degrees. And then we got Tommy T, Savvy Seats Extraordinaire. Tommy, tell us about Savvy Seats, man, and how they can get the tickets for anything from Kanye West to Jay-Z to Beyonce to Taylor Swift. You name it, you can get them at Savvy Seats.
Yeah, so I mean, you just find us online at SavvySeats.com, on any social media with Savvy Seats VIP, and we add the VIP because we give everybody VIP service, right? Like, I want to make sure everybody has an experience when they come to anything, right? Whether it's our tailgate, whether they're going to their first Met game, whether they're going to their first Yankee game, first playoff game, whatever it is, we try to give a personal experience, and we're real live people, right? So like, you're not calling somebody overseas when you call one of the major companies. You're getting somebody here that's going to help you and guide you and make your experience a memorable one.
So
Tommy, it's almost like a concierge. Really, I got to just say this from my personal experience, ordering tickets from Savvy Seats. I don't go anywhere else, literally, because you deal with I'm so sick of AI, but I'm also sick of people from these foreign lands that don't know how to get the job done. And Tommy and his team guides you through an experience. It's not just ordering tickets; it's a damn experience.
Yeah, of course. You want to make what I love when somebody goes to an event and they send me a picture like this is the first time they brought their son to a basketball game or brought their kid to a concert, whatever it is, right? And we were part of it, and that's why I do what I do.
Well, Tommy, what I like about it is, like you said, the last segment, we got to come down and do a live show when you do the tailgate, because when you see the pictures and the video, the tailgate, Greg, they be lit,
they have fun.
and they have different tents and whatnot that they go through before they even get in the darn stadium.
It was honestly so awesome, Greg.
Tell me, I'll come hang out with you in the parking lot, but I ain't taking my ass in there to watch that BS.
You know what, Greg?
Why would you go inside? That's the thing is, we were at the most lousy teams games, and we were having a blast in the parking lot. Catered food, nonstop drinks, what do they call it? Beer pong, all these just great games. Somehow Tommy had hot girls in attendance. It wasn't just a bunch of disgusting men sitting around getting drunk. So I don't know what he did, but he put together an experience each time I was there. I didn't even have to go inside and watch the game.
They knew you were coming. That's why.
Oh, yeah. I wish. Please. We'll set it up again. But honestly, SavvySeats.com has it all. We don't want to plug it too hard, but we will definitely be there this year.
Plug it too hard. Plug it hard, bro.
Look, we don't want to make everybody. We don't want to put everyone else out of business, Tommy. But it looks like that's what's going to happen at this point.
Put them all out of business.
Hey, but speaking of getting put out of business, man.
Hey, how about last night? How about last night? Yesterday Bruno Mars got his flowers here. They named the street after him, man.
I saw that.
Yeah. How about Ichiro? His statue being unveiled and destroyed.
The bat was broken. Greg.
Yeah, what they do with Play-Doh or something? What was that all about?
Greg, they broke Ichiro's bat, man. It was kind of foul.
Yeah, they unveiled Ichiro, and when they took the curtain down, the bat swung and broke.
and it broke. So now they got to
get they did it. So no people did it. It was like
no, it wasn't no vandalism. It was the folks who didn't get his dang on hand on the bat right, man.
It's honestly brilliant. That's the first broken bat statue.
Didn't he say something about Mariano? Why did Mariano have to come here and cut my bat?
Oh, yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, that's what
he said. One of his cutters inside.
Yeah, that's what he said. I thought that was funny, Tommy.
Each row is one of the funniest human beings on the planet.
Oh yeah,
one of the funniest human beings on the planet, dude.
I can see him.
Row, it's like talking to a brother, man, from the hood when you talk to Ichiro.
Ichiro be kidding everybody because he said that. Yeah. He said, "I think my man chopped my hand off." I was like, "Yo, that was incredibly funny." But speaking of chopping your hand off, man, as we were talking about baseball, how are we going down the baseball road right now, Ryan? With who's who and where are they at? I know the Dodgers are on top. Greg just told me the Giants just spanked up the Mets for two out of three. So
there's
what's going on in
surprises.
Baseball right now?
There's a few surprises. There's a few disappointing surprises, but it's kind of as we expected. The Dodgers are the first in the National League. I think they're 10-3. By the time it airs, who knows? They may be 11-3. But then we have the Braves at 9-5. The Guardians are coming out as expected at 8-6. The big surprise, though, is in Greg's former division with the Brewers, who, by the way, are also 8-5, but the Pittsburgh Pirates. And now after signing
the Pirates.
There's a few things I want to actually ask you guys. Connor Griffin's now signed for 9 years with the Pirates. Hasn't even really played Major League Baseball yet. I guess he's played a few games now, but a 9-year deal. And what got me was what Paul Skeens said. When Paul Skeens was asked about this historic 9-year deal, he said, well, he's going to be the face of the Pirates for a long time. The little kid in me, that little Yankees fan, started to glow. Because it just seemed like he wasn't very committed towards a future in Pittsburgh just by his energy. I know he claims he doesn't want to be a Yankee, but I don't know. What were your thoughts on that?
But Greg, I want to ask you about that because the kid is 19 years old. Am I right?
19 years old. Yeah. He's the
Greg,
youngest prospect since Soto.
So Greg, here you are. You're a veteran, right? And I know what could be good for everybody, but here you're a veteran. You know, bust your ass, played. You ain't getting whatever that guy got. So this guy comes in, ain't played not a lick, not a throw, not a slide. And he get all this money. How does that make you feel as a veteran?
Well, like I said, I was, baseball took care of me, so I can't complain. I was always, I didn't have to worry about that part. But I think it's smart in a sense because, if this kid comes out and, does what Scooble did down there, on the offensive end, as far as being a total package. Scooble went from, where did he go from 10 to 42 million? And what I mean? So I think it's a way to keep these guys locked up. So it's a risk on both sides, but it's also security for the player. And it's for small markets. These small markets are able to keep their superstars now. They know they have them for, like you said, 7 to 9 years. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of surprised, honestly. Like, if you are one of these young superstars, and there was another signing, I believe, was it the Brewers that signed somebody else? Their young guy that hadn't even played a game of Major League Baseball yet?
Yeah, the Brewers did, but you know what? Go back to Corbin Carl, his rookie year. He signed an 8-year, $80 million or something like that. That's a steal. That was a steal by the Diamondbacks, right? So, you see teams starting to lock up these guys. As a young player, you're like, shoot, I got stability. I know I'm going to be here. You got guaranteed bread. And right now, Carroll, he'd be making 25, 30 if it, going on what his numbers are.
I wonder if there's more appeal. Like, is there more appeal as a young guy to be the face of a franchise than just another key in the cog or cog in the machine, I guess you'd say? Whereas, like, a lot of these guys, like, Kyle Tucker signing a quick deal with the Dodgers. Like, that seems to be the way for massive amounts of quick money is to play just long enough to get another massive deal. Like Bo Bichette, if he plays well with the Mets, he's lined up for another massive deal.
He's gonna rake in. He played good with the Mets.
I just don't understand. What are these guys thinking?
You were ready to send him back to Toronto after opening week.
No, I didn't. I did not. No, I said, I like Bo. He gonna hit. I like Bo because he hit me starting to come around now. Greg, why you be throwing fuel in the fire when it come to me, man? You just be jacking.
Hey, man, I'm just stating facts, man. This is a fact-based show, so I'm just stating facts.
Okay.
Another team out to a great start, the Miami Marlins, which, Tommy, I know we watched all those games. They look kind of like, and they were mentioning in the broadcast, Michael Kay, I believe, said something about them kind of reminding him of the Blue Jays having a lot of guys that just know how to hit the ball around and just good baseball players, and they're playing hard. And they're off to an 8-6 start. I mean, as a Mets fan, when you have the Braves at 9-5 and the Marlins actually competing, and we know the Phillies aren't going to be gone, are you worried, Nate? Is there a chance that this could be an epic
Greg
failure?
Would say, you just got to hanker down and play baseball, man. You just got, and I don't know half the dudes in the daggone team anyway.
We're talking about 13 games. We're talking about
that's what I'm saying. Like,
but what I'm saying is this. I don't know half the guy. I'm trying to learn the team. I'm trying to figure out Roberts, Lewis, Jr. I'm trying to figure out the Mets team because there's so many new people on that squad that I don't really recognize. So I got to get acclimated and, the nuances of the team right about now. But I do know I like that kid McClain. I like the way that guy pitched. Because if the Mets ever just give him some hits, that kid, and he throws a ball, Greg, that it comes in, right, and it goes back out and it goes back over the plate.
Yeah, it's a sinker. Greg Maddox's specialty. Throw it at your
hip, Greg. It goes in, and I'm like, what did he just do? It goes. I'm like, this dude can pitch. He can and the Mets got a little something. So you're right, Greg. I'm just gonna stay the course, bro. I'm gonna be easy. I'm gonna be easy breezy.
Are you worried about Peralta? You think Peralta is gonna be the
He's gonna be fine.
He'll be okay.
Track record. He's gonna be fine.
He'll be okay. Yeah. He'll be
way too early in the season, man. You got to let things play.
You know
out.
what? I mean, you know what? Hey, right guy, you're only 3 games over 500. All them teeth I see right now. You're only 3 games over 500.
We're also first in the American League. We'll take it.
Hey, man, we got to get out of here, man. So I just
April
appreciate
11th. April 12th.
Let's see if I'm still smiling in June when that June swoon comes in.
Right.
I just appreciate you guys for joining us today, and what's going on in the experience as always, man. Tommy T, thanks for sitting in with us today. I appreciate you, and thanks for saying when I'm coming on the show, Nate. See, I like Tommy T. See, he don't be playing, he don't be talking on it. Nah, bro. When I'm going back, I like that, Greg. As always, man, we love you, dude. And by the way, we're doing the wine. We're doing the wine event again in October.
Okay. All right. And everybody have a great weekend. I'm about to go get on that couch and watch the Masters all day long.
Oh,
I hear you, man. And Ryan V down in the Hamptons. We love you, my brother. And tell the 2 brothers stop battling over there because they're throwing down.
I feel like Pakistan right now, trying to just stop this escalation from happening any further. Running out during the show. Crazy.
Open up the horn. Open up the Strait of Hormuz. Just open up the horn, or whatever they call it. Let's open it up, and the brothers will be good.
Hey, man, hey, isn't it so funny? I mean, now everyone's justifying this BS. Like, this deal that he's doing is the most lopsided deal. Iran is like, we should have did this in his first term. You know what I mean? We can make it bread for the last 20 years.
Yeah, we'll just close down the straits, and y'all figure it out later on. Man, until next week, this is Nate Brown Jr. For all the guys, Greg Vaughn, Ryan Verneuille, Tommy T. at the Savvy Seats of Gospels all our lives. You know what? We'll be back, crew. Peace. God bless, and see you.
Yes, sir.